shit. The PA was on, and it was above the echo volume. Oh, fuck. It really came out to get you that time. It really did. It came out right for you. So we're going to watch this Oppenheimer trailer for the movie today. And then tomorrow we're going to watch Dan Schneider's Creepy Moments, which is a compilation of the creepy things that he did. He's the guy who worked at Nickelodeon for a long time, made a lot of things that a lot of us know and remember and were fond of as children. So, you know, if you don't want to destroy your childhood, you may want to brace yourself or just not watch that one. I don't know. The choice is yours. Apparently my camera decided to unzoom once again, and that's just a daily thing, I guess. This is annoying as fuck. I should probably just write a note and try to check it every time, but I tend to not even see the notes. I don't know if that's just ADD, ADHD, or some shit that I don't have diagnosed, or me just thinking, you know what, just click the button and go. But it is what it is. Next week we're going to watch Taking on the Most Famous Moon Landing Denier Ever, because he thinks he's debunked Apollo 11. And that's going to be our Flat Earth Fridays. The rest of this between Wednesday and Wednesday and Thursday, we'll have videos figured out. Saturday, Sunday, we'll have videos figured out. I just have Friday figured out for now. But that's the plan that we have so far. The rest of this will fill up in the next few days. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So we're just going to Oppenheimer today, Dan Schneider tomorrow, and then next week is Future Tim's Problem. So let's jump in and see what this is about. Like Oppenheimer, before this starts up. So Oppenheimer, right? This should be about the guy who was behind the Manhattan Project. For those who don't understand what the Manhattan Project is, either because you don't know history, you didn't read a book, you didn't go to school, or you just don't care about history at all, apparently. He's the guy who is behind the Manhattan Project, which was the American project that resulted in the nuclear bomb. So, let's see what this is going to be. This could be good. I just don't know if I'd want to watch it. How many times do you think we had to do something with this experimentation that caused somebody to lose vision before we realized we needed to put on such dark goggles to protect our vision from the light that the explosion made? It's a good question. We were in a race against the Nazis, the Japanese, the Russians, which was the USSR at the time. Pretty much everybody that we didn't get along with was also trying to do the same thing.
And I know what it means.
So were many of our allies, but they didn't have the resources.
They have a 12-month head start. 18. How could you possibly know that?
Spies. That's how you figure that shit out. That's how you've always figured that shit out. That's how you still figure that shit out. Spies.
We've got one hope.
We also have hacking nowadays, which is just modern spies.
Secret laboratory. Keep everyone there until it's done. Let's go recruit some.
I'm just going to point out, keep everyone there until it's done sounds very not the way it worked, because everything was very compartmentalized. We know this as a point of historical fact, very well documented and discussed, that everything was compartmentalized. This portion's going to work on this thing, this group's going to work on this thing, this group's going to work on that thing, this group's going to work on that thing. None of them know what the overall thing is that they're doing. They're just given one task to figure out, and these people up here have an idea of how all of this is going to fit together into the end product, end result, and the people in the individual groups do not. That was how that went. Like, granted, you'd reach a certain point and you might, for certain components, say this group can't leave until this is done, because it just prevents any of your your secrets from leaking because it's all isolated. Nobody's out talking with their family, going out to dinner, seeing friends, having a drink here or there, and being made vulnerable. And that's part of it. So it could make sense to fit in there. It's just the way that came across there seemed like it's consolidating everybody into one spot in the project, which isn't how it worked.
Scientists.
And that's what I meant when I said I don't know if I'm going to want to watch this or not, is I understand the history behind it, and if this isn't going to be like historically accurate, more like just like a historical telling of what happened and not a dramatical theatrical version of it, I'm not going to be interested.
We'll recruit some scientists. Build a town, build it fast. If we don't let scientists bring their families, we'll never get the best.
Why would we go to the middle of nowhere for who knows how long?
Los Alamos is still there, by the way.
Why? Why? How about because this is the most important thing to ever happen in the history of the world?
You're the great improviser.
Einstein.
You can't do in your head.
Are we saying there's a chance that when we push that button, we destroy the world? Chances are near zero. Near zero. What do you want from theory alone? Zero would be nice.
That's very much so exactly where we were at the time. We didn't know exactly what the repercussions would be of the final product of the atomic bomb, and we thought that what we might be recreating is the sun in full effect, not just a miniaturized scale of it that is a flash in a pan and doesn't just burn forever, but we thought we might actually create a sun. And if you created a sun, it would destroy everything because the gravity would pull everything in and it would crush us all, let alone incinerate us all.
This is a matter of life and death. I can perform this miracle.
World War II would be over. Our boys would come home.
That's happening, isn't it?
The world will remember this day. Our work here will ensure a peace mankind has never seen. Until somebody builds a bigger one.
You are the man who gave them the power to destroy themselves. And the world is not prepared.
Which fits into his very famous quote from the Avadad Krishna, I think is what it's from. It's from Hindu religious texts. I'm about 80% sure I said it wrong. Even if I came close, I'm positive I got it wrong. But he says something along the lines of, "And behold, I have become death." And it's because he's the man behind the creation of this bomb that could have destroyed the world, and it gave us the power to completely annihilate the only planet we have to live on. Keep in mind, this is before we had space travel. And that was just to the moon, so...
Truman needs to know what's next.
What's next?
Okay, so... It might be...
You're the great
That might be a really good movie. It has great potential. It doesn't look like it'll be bad. It looks like somebody may... it looks like even if it's not accurate to history, it'll be very interesting and provocative and a good movie for quite a few people. I just, like I said, if it's not going to be historically accurate, it's not going to appeal to me personally very much, but that doesn't mean it's not a good movie. It's just I would want something else from something of this form. Because it's about Oppenheimer, so I'd want it to be accurate historically and on a personal level. So Murphy's been loyal to Nolan for nearly 2 decades. It's about time he was given his own film. Okay. Whatever. I really don't care about the politics behind making a movie. Cillian Murphy is, in my opinion, the best actor alive. His intensity grips the audience into whatever role he's cast. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Wouldn't know. I'm not only am I terrible at names, but I wouldn't be able to be like, oh yeah, Cillian Murphy, that's the guy who played this role in this movie and this role. I have no idea. I think that this looks very well. I think that that guy looks like he was a good choice. It seems to be done well. I just don't know if it's, like I said, it's going to be very accurate to history or not. Christopher Nolan has pretty much done a lot for the most in genres: science fiction, spy thriller, espionage, mystery, thriller, drama, superhero, war, now biopic. Okay, so just you want him to do medieval or fantasy. Like, the thing is, because of all this stuff, is part of why I'm just like, I don't know what kind of movie we're going to get, and I don't know if it's going to appeal to me, because I don't know if it's really going to be much of a biopic, or if it's going to be more of like a thriller drama biopic, right? Because I'm really just not interested in that. And that's just in general, it doesn't appeal to me. It just never really has. And really, that's pretty much what everybody's talking about. Awesome. The radioactive detection sound gives me chills. Yeah, if you understand the issues of radioactivity and being exposed to it, it makes sense. You're the man who gave them the power to destroy themselves, and the world is not prepared. True. I was just honestly hoping somebody would be in here to say something about that, yeah, until somebody builds a bigger bomb. Because the fact of the matter is, those nuclear weapons that we dropped on Japan to end World War II were small in comparison to what exists today. So, yeah, it looks like that's pretty much the consensus of the things that are there. It doesn't look like a bad movie, though. It could be good. It's a movie I'll probably wait for, but I wait for most movies. So, it is one that looks good enough that I look forward to watching it. I just don't know when that'll be. Delicious. Alright, now, I tripped over this cable for the remote control earlier today. Like, I stepped on it, and then my knee hit it with the same leg. So, I may have fucked up my USB port and or the cable for the fucking controller. So we're going to see if this works.